Biggie, biggie, biggie on the mic. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up.
Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud.
We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe.
Yo, Biggie, break it down, break it clear. No filter, no lie, just sincere.
Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up.
We talk about money, we talk about pain. The pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talk about love, about family ties. All the good and all the lies.
We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language.
We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm.
Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up.
Let's talk, Biggie, Biggie, Biggie on the mic. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up.
Yeah,
listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe. Yo, Biggie, break it down, break it clear. No filter, no lie, just sincere.
follow Biggie, 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 hit the like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk.
Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up.
Follow Biggie, 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 hit the like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk.
Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. We talk about money, we talk about pain. The pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talks about love, about family ties. All the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it.
Yeah. Biggie, Biggie, Biggie on the mic. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe. Yo, Biggie, break it down, break it clear. No filter, no lie, just sincere. Follow Biggie, Biggie, Big. Hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. We talk about money, we talk about pain. The pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talk about love, about family ties. All the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm. Follow Biggie, Biggie, Big. Hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. To the skyline, from the sunrise to the shine. We're turning the page, turning the page. We'll break the walls, we'll break the cage. Biggie on mic with heat to your ear. What's happening in the world? No fear. We talk about peace, we talk about love, we talk about hope. Like a dove, we keep the rhythm, keep the rhyme. We'll light the way through the night.
Live. Biggie, 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 Biggie on the mic.
Hey, right.
We're talking truth, no hype. Drop everything and hear what's up. It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Yeah. Listen up, Biggie in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The vibe is buzzing, the truth is loud, but Biggie talking calm, keeping it proud. We got stories of struggle, from hardship to hope, from the block to the globe.
You're bigger, dig it out.
Break it down,
Break it clear.
break it clear.
No filter, no lie, just sincere. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything in here, what's up? It's Biggie time, so let's light things off. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like and let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything in here, what's up? It's Biggie time, so let's light things off. We talk about money, we talk about pain. The pain of the youth, the loss of the main. Biggie talks about love, about family ties, all the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything in here, what's up? It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. Follow Biggie, 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 hit like a let's talk. We're not about drama, just about the life we walk. Drop everything in here, what's up? It's Biggie time, so let's light things up. From the suburbs to the skyline, yeah. From the sunrise to the shine, we're turning the page.
Yo, Biggie, Biggie, Biggie on the mic. We're talking truth, no hype. Drop that knife, drop that fork. It's time to light the torch. Listen up, we're in the studio, where the real talk flows, yo. The city's buzzing, the streets are loud, but we're talking calm, keep it proud. We got stories of struggle, stories of hope, from the block to the globe. We'll break it down, we'll break it clear. No fear, just sincere. Biggie, 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 we're here to talk. We're not about drama, just a solid walk. Put down your knife, put down your fork. Let's talk about life, the truth, the word. We talk about money, we talk about pain. The pain of the youth, the loss of the main. We talk about love, about family ties. All the good and all the lies. We break the chains of ignorance, show the truth with our own language. We're building a bridge over the storm. Keep it steady, keep it warm. Biggie, 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 we're here to talk. We're not about drama, just a solid walk. Put down your knife, put down your fork. Let's talk about life, the truth, the word. Biggie, 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 we're here to talk. We're not about drama, just a solid walk. Put down your knife, put down your fork. Let's talk about life, the truth, the word. From the suburbs to the skyline, from the sunrise to the shine, we're turning the page, turning the page. We'll break the walls, we'll break the cage. We bring the headlines to your ear. What's happening in the world, no fear. We talk about peace, we talk about listeners. Solid walk. Down your neck, put down your phone. Let's talk about
आशिका दे मन दे भलेखे नी सोहा वाले प्यार दूर जग देना देखे नी सोहा वाले प्यार दूर जग देना देखे नी नाम सौंप का प्यार विच दिल पिलो जाही दे तोरे नी सो हमारे बिंदियाए बुंदे हट तोरे नी प्यार ते यकीन होए दुनिया रंगीन होए प्यार ते यकीन होए दुनिया रंगीन होए गम च नया शिकारू जाना पवे ठेकेनी गम च नया शिकारू जाना पवे ठेकेनी सो वाले प्यार पूरी जग दे न देखेनी सो वाले प्यार पूरी जग दे न देखेनी नाम सौंप का प्यार लोग बोले करदा समाज नी बलविंदर दे दिल विच लिया है विराजनी तैनू बलवीर कहे खीर कहे तैनू बलवीर कहे खीर कहे करदा जो धोखे तेरे पिंड लेखे नी करदा जो धोखे तेरे पिंड लेखे नी सोहारे प्यार पूर चढ़ते न देखे नी सोहारे प्यार पूर चढ़ते न देखे नी सोहारे प्यार
Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to Biggie Let's Talk episode 65. On any कोई रीसा देखा 65 to पहुंच गए. Hope everyone's good, hope everyone's well. That last song you heard was from the movie that Ajit Mann actually made called Duk by Davinder Singh. Banging tune. First time I've heard it actually. It's absolutely amazing. So today in episode 65, we're joined by not just an actor, not just a movie maker, not just a writer, but producer as well. देखा था ना मैंने कहता पढ़ लिया करो कुछ लाइव बना लो. Anyway, so we're going to dive into his journey, the highs, the lows, the in-betweens, and what's coming up next. So without further ado, let's bring on Mr. Ajit Mann.
Hello.
Mann Saab has it. Oh, no, let me take this writing off your face. How you doing, sir? You good?
Yeah, good. I'm really good. Yeah, thank you for having me today.
Nah, thank you for coming on. Absolutely privileged. How you doing? You well, yeah?
Yeah. All good. You know,
You're not in the lab or the studio or anything like that?
if you count studio as my comfy living room, you know, here in Hertfordshire, then yeah, I guess so.
I'm sure it is, you know that.
That's exactly it.
So is that where you're born in Hertfordshire?
No. So this is actually where I'm based right now. So I've been living here for past like 3 or 2 years now. Or 3.
Okay.
Oh God, I can't remember now. But I'm originally from Southall, so born in Southall. Moved to I kind of split my time between Southall and Wembley. But then lived in Southall for about 8 years again before I got a place here in Hertfordshire. And yeah, it's lovely, you know, near the countryside. I can't complain.
Good stuff. Typical Southall person, isn't it? Moving out because I moved in 1986. I was born in Southall.
Right, yeah.
Moved in 1986 to Shepherd's Bush. But
okay.
now it's like the influx in the 90s is
Yeah.
this all kind of like Richards Park, Ascot, Hertfordshire, Luton, Milton Keynes. Sare nikal gaye, everyone's just out and about.
I mean, it's that thing. London's getting so expensive now that, you know,
That's
these are the
right.
places we're having to move out now, you know, just to get somewhere that's, you know, a good home, but also a bit affordable, you know. Yeah.
It's schooling as well, isn't it? Don't forget, like every house
Yeah.
now, I've got 4 cars in my driveway
Wow, that's incredible.
in the evening. So, you know, and everybody, like me, my missus, mum, dad, or my kids are still young, but we all drive. So obviously we need the space. So it's a lot of space.
Yeah, that's exactly
And,
it.
but in Southall, I was born down Wentworth Road.
Oh,
And when you
okay.
go down that road, you've only
Yeah.
got everyone's obviously cut their walls out, made driveways there.
I was going to say,
But
it's like,
otherwise, you can't park on the road. It's just like kind of like a
it's tight. It's really tight. And it's that thing,
100%.
like, trying to go to Southall. I mean, that's why, like, these days I barely go by car because it's like there's no guaranteed parking. If I park on
100%.
Park, there's a driveway that's been extended there.
Yeah, everyone's just cut their walls out, chop their walls up at the front of the house, and just make driveways.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, Ajit, let's get into it.
Yeah, sure.
Gappa guppa board hogi.
Yeah.
So what inspired you into movie making?
I mean, I've always been into making films and I've always had a fascination of film since I was a kid, you know. I remember, I mean, the earliest memory I have is like going to the cinema, watching a movie. And also, like, you know, I think I grew up in that generation where we didn't really grow up with social media as kids, you know, we weren't really exposed to social media. YouTube wasn't even around when I was a kid either. It was
Sure.
like your main form of entertainment as a kid really was watching movies. And so that was my main escapism when I was a kid. I remember having like a small like CRT TV in my room. I used to have like the occasional VHS tapes that were just rocking around the house. I used to watch them over and over again. I used to like watch the original Spider-Man film about like 5 times in a row because I was just fascinated by it. Because to me, I just couldn't believe that someone made this. You know, I couldn't believe that this wasn't real. Yeah, you're watching something as a kid and you're thinking, hang on, like, you know, this can't be real because, you know, someone can't have like powers of Spider-Man. But surely how they made this? So then, like, as a kid, I had a bit of fascination of like, how do movies get made? And then it was only when like DVDs started coming out as well. In the DVDs, they would release like special features.
Yeah.
So then I would look in the special features, and then they would have like the behind the scenes of how to make them, and it just seemed so fun. You know, that's what it just seemed to me. It just seemed like such a fun thing to do. So since then, like, I've always just like said to myself, since I was a kid, like, I've always wanted to get into movies. This is what I've always wanted to do. You know, I can't particularly say exactly one source of inspiration that I had to get that got me into filmmaking. It's just I've always known that this is what I've wanted to do. You know.
And is there anybody else in the family that's a movie director anyway? Mom, dad, or granddad, or father like that? No.
Not
you're the first.
I mean, I know my family members are full of like you know, people that love movies. You know, I know for a fact that my mum, for example, she's absolutely in love with Bollywood. You know, granddad, more so he was more so in love with, like, you know, Bollywood, but also more like the classic cinemas, and also like 1930s, 40s Hollywood cinema as well, not even just you know, Bollywood as well. So, like, you know, grew up on like classic films as well. I think everyone in my family, in some way or another, had a fascination to movies. So I think it's just been passed down genetically. Whereas I was the first one that thought, you know what, I could actually make a career out of this if I wanted to.
So what was the bit when the penny dropped and you thought, you know what, I'm gonna go into movie making?
Yeah, so when the penny dropped, it was, I went to watch, I think I was about, God, I can't remember how old I was. Maybe, I want to say 8 years old, maybe, or 7. I went to watch Lord of the Rings, Return of the King in the cinema.
Wow, okay.
And I watched that and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is 100% what I want to do. Because I remember just being in the cinema for that. It was in Cineworld Feltham, shout out Feltham.
Yeah.
You know, well, I went to watch it. And it was one of those ones where, like, you watch the film, we were there for about almost 4 hours long. And then I've never seen this experience before in a cinema.
It's the effects, isn't it, in the film?
Yeah, practical effects, amazing story, incredible story, moments where, like, you know, so heartfelt and emotional as well.
Yeah.
And then seeing everyone clap and applaud in a cinema, I was like, I've never seen that before in my life. And I was like, this is what I want to do. I want to make films like this, you know, I want to make epics like these that are going to leave a lasting impact, you know.
The only time I've seen people clap in the cinema is in India.
That's exactly it, you know. That's exactly
you don't see it here.
Yeah, to us, I didn't even know that it was a thing until I thought it was a rare thing seeing that in England. But then when I realized they do it in India, I was like, okay, maybe it's not so rare. But here, it's like, you know, it's unheard of, people cheering and clapping.
People don't. You're right.
But they were for Lord of the Rings. And I was like, this is incredible. And I just saw that and I was like, I find it really inspiring. It's like so many, you're telling a story in 3 hours. And in those 3 hours, you manage to capture everyone's imaginations and everyone's
100%.
You know, attention in that 3 hours. No one's on their phone, no one's talking, they're just fixated on that screen. And for me, I saw that, and seeing the effects, seeing the cinematography, story, acting, I was like, this is what I want to do, you know, I want to make stuff like this. And yeah, ever since then, you know, I've just been trying to figure out how can I do this. And literally, I think, yeah, since I think 8 years old, that's when it clicked for me that this is what I want to do, and I'm going to do my hardest to, you know, somehow make a film.
And obviously our days were different. We only had 4 channels on the TV, didn't we?
Yeah.
I remember when the first time I went to the cinema, my grandma took me, and I think it was to watch Batman, I think, the really first one.
Wow, the Tim Burton one.
I don't know who the actor was, man.
Fair enough,
it could have been anyone.
Yeah. Fair.
Okay, so how did the journey start, and what were the early struggles?
So the journey I would say the journey truly started when I went to university. So I studied film at University of Roehampton. And from then it was really eye-opening. I didn't expect I think it was really naive of me. I didn't expect how difficult it was going to be. Not so much in terms of just the production side, but also the theory side of it and how to actually tell a story. You know, there's so many factors to think about with telling a story. Like, you know, what is the meaning behind it? You know, what is the purpose behind it? Is it supposed to, like, how can I convey emotions? And just also all the different readings I had to do and stuff like that. I was just like, this is a lot, you know, it's a lot to actually study.
You know, actually writing a story or writing a script is hard work. It's not easy, is it?
It's not.
It's like a songwriter. You have to get in that zone.
Exactly. You need to be in that zone. And you also, you write a story only if it you know, if it means something really, it's like there's no point just writing something that's just off the top of your head, doesn't really have much meaning to it, because chances are you'll start writing the story, and if it hasn't got like a structured plan to it,
Mhm.
then the ending just doesn't hit, for example, or throughout the middle of it, it may just get completely lost, and you don't know what the filmmaker's trying to convey within that story. So that's something that, you know, was a big learning experience on that. And also, what really was a big learning experience was how long a film actually it takes to make, you know, because let me tell you, one shot, those shots that you see in a feature film, one shot can take, honestly, from like the easiest shots could be like 5 minutes. It could go all the way up until an hour long, just trying to get this one shot. You know, like
A lot of late nights.
a lot of late nights, yeah, and that's something that I also didn't expect, like how important scheduling is as well. How important scheduling is when the day, and continuity was the biggest eye opener. And by that I mean, like, if you shoot one thing with one certain lighting condition, and then you're like, oh, it's fine, I got all day. But then you go later on in the day and shoot it again, you're like, oh, hang on, the sky's changed, the light's gone, you know,
Yeah.
this has changed. And that's what I think, that's what for me was one of the biggest struggles, was learning continuity. Because let me tell you, if you watch any of my student films, and the reason that they are all deleted off YouTube right now, they were all terrible, because the continuity was just off the charts, you know. Like, it was like 1 minute, not even like in terms of lighting, 1 minute a guy would be standing and he's dressed in black, the next minute I forgot that, you know, he had to, you know, get that black t-shirt on again because he
Yeah.
was on break, and then he's wearing a white shirt, and I was
Now,
like, oh
did you have any family struggles? Because when I was younger, I wanted to be a radio DJ,
yeah,
and I did start it, but
yeah.
it kind of like this flopped because mom and dad were like, "Padla, padla, finish
I
your
mean,
studies off."
that's the same type of pushback that I got when I was young. I wouldn't say from my mom necessarily, because she was. I think deep down inside, she probably was like, "Oh, I wish she did like some sort of like
Accountant,
doctor or something like that." But I think she
doctor,
was like
yeah,
really, like, she was really supportive in terms of, she didn't want to break my heart. Basically, I think that's what it was. I think she saw that I was really ambitious with this, and she was like, her mentality was like, if you're gonna do this, give it your 100% and do it
do
right.
it properly.
Yeah, do it properly, exactly.
Yeah,
My dad had quite a bit of pushback to it, but eventually, through lots of convincing and stuff like that, again, I made him see like where I was coming from. And the main thing was, I said to him, like, if I'm going to go to university and study at university, there's no point me spending 3 years doing a subject that I'm not going to enjoy, and chances are I'm going to waste a lot of money and just drop out, yeah, immediately. Because I said to him, if I'm going to
doing
do something
business
like,
studies.
yeah, I said to him, if I'm going to do something like business or IT or something like that, or even like try to be a doctor, I'm sorry, I'm dropping out. Like, I'm not going to do
Yeah,
it. You know, I think I just like said, like, I just really don't want to do it. And I think he just saw that, like, I was really, I want to say passionate, but I also would say that I'm quite a stubborn person as well. I'm quite like, you know, if I have my mind set and I'm going to do something, that's what's going to happen. And you're not going to tell me no, you know, I will go out on my way to do it. I've had that mentality since I was a kid. And it sometimes goes to the way where, like, if I don't get my way, especially as a kid, I would tend to sulk and stuff. But then
yeah,
you just kind of learn that, you know, as you go off, like, you can't have everything. But
definitely.
I think I definitely had that feeling in my career and what I wanted to do. And to be honest, I think the way I got down to my dad was actually showing him films that I love. And I think we bonded over cinema quite a lot. And I think, like, he just saw how passionate I was about it. And he was like, you know what, like, I can see that you are passionate about it. I can see you do it. And then he just sat me down and he said, if you're going to do it, just like what my mum said, she said, if you're going to do it,
Do it properly.
do it right, do it properly. Yeah, put your 100% into it. Don't half-ass it. Do it. Don't waste your time.
And what were they like when they obviously see your screening, then they see your work? They must
Yeah.
be super proud, eh?
Yeah. So unfortunately, my dad passed away in 2020.
Sorry, yeah.
So no, it's all good. But he unfortunately never actually got to see any of my films. You know, I started my filmmaking
Really?
journey. Yeah, that's, you know what, I don't have any regrets in my life, but the one regret I do have in my life is the fact that he never got to see any of my films. You know, like, I do think about myself. Like, I do wonder sometimes at night, like, what does he think about me and what does he think about my filmmaking
Of course,
journey?
yeah.
Yeah, that is something that I will question.
Have you got any siblings? Are they in the movie star? Are they in the movie boat?
No, so I've got one sister, and no, she's not really. I mean, she loves movies.
Yeah.
Like if I say that and she's not into the to movies, she'll actually kill me, because she actually does love movies. Yeah. She loves movies. I think I kind of like being like the big brother. I think I influenced her movie taste quite a bit. But she's
Excellent.
into more like I know she's like a massive like Disney fan, Pixar fan. You know, she's into like those type of films, animation more so. But no, yeah, she's into movies, but she's not within the actual industry herself. You know.
Now I'm like you. I love my Spider-Mans, my Daredevils. I watched
Exactly. Yeah.
Daredevil yesterday. Actually,
Really.
finished
Yeah.
watching it.
Fair enough, man.
The DCs and the Marvels. Okay,
Yeah.
so what's your creative mind when you actually start making something? Is it the story, the vision, or the message?
For me, it's always the concept of an idea first, you know. So I never have like the full story straight away. I just think of the concept. So like, you know, the scenario of like what's going to happen in the film. So like for my first film, for example, Confess, the scenario for that was just I just want to make a film about two men drinking whiskey. That's what I wanted to do, you know. So it would literally be as simple as that. And then once I put in that concept, then I think, okay, how can I make a story out of this? So for me, it's always a story over visuals anytime is the most important thing. My thing is always once you get the story right, we can focus on all the visuals and all the fancy stuff.
Everything fits into place.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think with the story and the message, I think that goes hand in hand. I think while I'm telling the story, I need to always like think in my head, I need to send some sort of message. What is the message I'm doing for these films? So whilst I'm doing the planning process, I'm writing down the story, but I'm also whilst writing down the story, brainstorming of what messages am I trying to send to the audience, what themes am I trying to portray for the audience, you know, what am I trying to convey, you know. So but yeah, and the visuals, that's usually a team discussion. I usually discuss visuals with my team rather than myself. I'll have like an idea of how I want it to look, but then I'll present it to like my DOP, and then I'll present it to him, and then he'll be like, okay, we could do it like this. Let's add maybe some of this to it as well. Let me say, add something that you may have not thought about, and I'll look at that and be like, wow, that's actually great. Let's go with that as well. You know, so it's always a collaboration when it comes to the actual visual aspect of it. It's never me just being like, oh, I want this, and you have to do it my way.
Okay, how do you go from an idea to a finished film?
So write a script, present the script to a few close people to you, form your crew, who you want to make the project around with you, sort out where this needs to get filmed. The location for me is the most important part. You know, just get that over and done with. Make sure you know where you're filming. Don't do anything before you get your location sorted. I've learned that lesson so many times. Get your cast sorted out. Once you've got all your team members sorted out, sort your contracts out with everyone and make sure everyone's signed and happy to go with your project, because you don't want at the last minute for one of your contributors to one of your team members to just pull out at the last minute. Like it could literally be the day before and you haven't got anything on paper, then they'll be like, well, I didn't sign anything and I've got a better paid job. Then it's like, okay, no, that's not ideal, you know. And the main thing is really keep prepping with each department. You know, don't stop prepping. Don't think, oh, I've done enough. I should maybe take a back seat. There's always something to do. It's not like that, you know, when it comes to making films.
So you need a part where you said that somebody dropped out last minute. Is that a learning curve? Is that something that's happened in the past where you learned from?
Or
is it something that you advise?
I mean, I would not like with me. It's one of those ones where, you know, if people drop out, like my thing is like the industry is cutthroat. You know, sometimes you may get a project that is so good that and the money offer is so good that you just have to take it, and that's fair enough. You know, if that is the case, it's fair enough. Especially if you're doing short films and you get offered to do like a big feature, you would go and take it because it's better for a portfolio. The thing is, if you're going to do that, my thing is at least have the decency to then provide a cover for your role, you know, in that as well. So that's what I always say when it comes to if you were planning to do that, you know.
Fair enough, excellent.
Yeah. But then I'm adding on to that as well. Like once you've done that, you make your call sheets, you know, get everyone scheduled, get the scheduling like sorted ASAP, film it, edit it, and then the main thing really is hope audiences like it, you know, because you can do all that hard work, but if your audiences, there's no telling. Sometimes you may think it's a great film, your crew and cast may think it's a great film, but you never know what audiences are going to think, you know. So that's why it may be good when you're making films to present your film to just family, friends, people that aren't of that mindset of like, you know, from the behind the scenes mindset, or just like simple movie goers, because it's good to get their opinion on what this concept is like, because early on you'll be able to see from them whether this film will do well with audiences or not.
Okay, what part of filmmaking do you enjoy? The writing, the directing, or the editing?
Oh, all of it. I love all of it. If I had to pick one, then I'm actually just going to go with writing. Just because with writing, you can let your imagination just go wild. You know, you can write what you want. you can just go crazy. If I was just to be a writer, it was like you just write, present it to the director. If they like it, they'll be like, cool, my job's done, now go make my film, you know.
How many people in your team?
In my team, oh, it changes all the time. I mean, in the M&K team, it's only just me and my friend Lorik, who I met at university. We're co-producers, so within that team, the permanent team, it's just 2 people. But then we work with a whole bunch of freelancers on films. You know, we have reoccurring people like Charlie
Okay.
Painter, who's our DOP. He's worked with us on 2 films so far. Going to be working on the 3rd. And then we have a hair and makeup company that works with us called Rainbow FX. Those are our main like reoccurring people. Everyone
Brilliant.
else tends to change when it comes to different projects.
Okay, you just premiered the film's Duck.
Yes.
How did it go, and what was the reaction, and how did that make you feel?
I mean, I was really nervous with the reaction of the film, what it was going to be like, but I was just surprised how much people really, really liked it. It really left an impact on everyone when they watched the film. To the point, I mean, I knew it was going to be a heavy film, but I didn't expect so many people to be deeply affected by it. I mean, there were people saying to me that whilst we were watching the film, they had to look away because they just found it so overwhelming. Because it is, you know, based on quite a sensitive topic and quite a heavy topic. So when you watch it, you know, it does touch on themes where if you're, you know, not in Punjabi, but if you're South Asian, you will have like related to it, and you will have, you know, seen this happen within whether not your own family, but within like other people's families. You know, you will have seen something like this. I think for me, the thing that like really meant a lot for me, it's quite a funny thing to say, was the moments where audiences laughed when I wanted them to laugh. That's when I was like, okay, I've done a good job, because they were actually laughing at all the bits.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, because I did put in a bit of comedy in the film, because I wanted it to be lighthearted at first, but then as the film goes along, it gets darker and darker. So when the bits where they laughed, I was like, okay, I'm glad that you actually understood where I was going with this. And yeah, no, it was a great and positive reaction for the
Okay,
film.
what's the story behind Duck? Even though like you wrote it yourself, is there a story?
I mean, Duck was more so for me. Like, I just kept hearing so many stories within the community, seeing stuff on social media, and you know, from like previous experiences with like other members, not like immediate family, but just like extended family and like, you know, other people within the community. I personally was really sick of just seeing all these stories in the community, and still to the day and age, of women and kids still dealing with domestic abuse. I think we all normalized certain behaviors growing up, because for us it was so normal to see this stuff.
Yeah.
But for me, the purpose of this entire film was just to break out of this cycle and to say to people like, look, it's not okay to speak to women like this. It's not okay to disrespect your kids, you know, because that's what some people like. More common misconception is, oh, because you're a kid, you need to respect your parents. But respect goes 2 ways, you know. You also need to respect your kids as well, because kids are a lot smarter than people think, you know. People don't realize that they pick up on a lot, and at an early age they'll pick up on a lot as well. So for me, it was more so I wanted to tackle social issues that occur mainly within Sikh Punjabi homes. But I feel like if you're South Asian, not even just South Asian, I feel like a lot of people in different communities, different backgrounds can really relate to this. Especially like, you know, it's that thing of like, men are expected to be in a certain way, women are expected to be in a certain way, and it's like, we need to stop this. We need to stop, you know, saying that you have to do this just because of your gender, just because of your age, of your race. You know, it's like, it's time for us to break out this cycle, and we need to. For me, the reason I wanted to make this film is so us as a community, we can actually start having conversations about these topics and speak about it and make it and acknowledge it as well. Acknowledge that these are the flaws that we face. So now what can we do as a community to resolve this? And what can we do to, you know, open up these conversations even more? Because I know for a fact there are people that probably are looking at this film and probably hate the idea of this film, because they probably are like, oh, you know, you're treating us in a bad light, which I'm not. I'm not treating Punjabis and Sikhs in a bad light. This is reality.
It happens in real life. That's right. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, this is reality. We need to face it and we need to acknowledge it. And once you face it and acknowledge it, this is when change can happen. This is when, once you acknowledge it, you can have, you know, these discussions, and we can have these talks, not even within like our own communities, but even with our own families, and actually speak to our women and children, and, you know, say, you know, how do you feel in this scenario? You know, what is it that I can do to help? But also make it comfortable for them to speak up and also be open with, you know, their own family as well. Because I've seen
rather than sweep it under the carpet.
Exactly, they just sweep it all under the carpet, and I've I've gone my entire life seeing so many women just suffer in silence and be too scared to speak up. And effectively, this film was that. You know, I just wanted to, you know, break the cycle.
Okay, hold on. I lost my thingy now where I was. Okay, you made a film called Masked. Is it Masked?
Mocked. So that film's not made just yet. It's currently in pre-production. That one. So the other one is actually Confess that I've made.
Confess. Yeah. How was that? And was that an English film or was it a Punjabi film?
That one was in English. So like, there's no it's not based on any South Asian culture or background. That film was so that was my first short film that I made, and that film was just me being like, it took me years to actually make a short film. To be honest with you, you know, like that film I made it, you know, 10 years after I started first year university, and that was my first short film after leaving university, because that's literally how long it can take just to even make a short independent without any student project attached to it. For me, my thing was I wanted to just make a film just to be like, look, I need something in my portfolio. I need to prove myself that I can make a good film. So I just effectively just took the simplest idea, which was two men drinking whiskey in one location, and I just thought to myself, what can I do with that project? You know, and effectively that's when Confess came about. I wrote the script, I found the location, and then when I was looking for crew, I set the dates of when I was looking to film, and then when I found the crew, somehow people wanted to work with me. I sent a script out over those people, and they really liked it. I was really surprised how much people loved the story, because I've made so many stories before that, and I'll be honest to say that they were not the greatest stories. You know, people I think would be a bit too nice and be like, "Oh yeah, we'll work on it," but then they'll read it, say they'll work on it. I wouldn't hear from them for like about 2
So
weeks.
it's just about two apne Punjabis just sitting there drinking whiskey.
So so it's not Abhinay Punjabis. There's actually just two white English guys.
Okay,
Yeah. So effectively, the story is, you open up the story. The film is actually just a big interrogation scene. So this guy like kidnaps another guy, and he's basically just trying to, the guy who's been kidnapped, he's just trying to figure out, you know, how does this guy know him, because he's claiming that he actually knows who he is. And then the film just escalates and escalates even more. So when you see the ending, it is available on YouTube as well. So if anyone does want to watch that, definitely watch it. When you see the ending, you're just like, well, I did not expect that. You know, I was inspired by like a lot of thrillers for that film. I'm a big
okay. And what's Marked about?
Marked is funny enough, we've actually just changed the title of that film today. It was originally called Marked. We've changed it. It's now called Betala, which is effectively inspired by an Indian, it's actually inspired by Indian folklore. It's about I don't want to give too much away, but it's basically just about a guy whose wife's recently passed away. He goes back home after his wife's passed away, and he gets a call from the hospital who are saying that basically his wife's body is missing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much away.
Just that's fine.
Those ones where, like there's a big reveal in the film, and like when you watch it, then you'll be like, wow. Yeah.
When is that out?
We're going to be filming it in July. So we're going to be filming it across 2 days in July. We are hoping to release it on Halloween, because there are quite a lot of Halloween screenings, like short film screenings across the UK and especially London. So we are aiming to get it done by Halloween. So hopefully Halloween we'll be able to get it seen across cinemas.
Okay, quickly going back to Duck, where can people watch it? Because I've had a few people message me and say, where can I watch this? Where can I watch it?
Yeah, I think everyone's inbox, everyone that's been associating with me, I'm really sorry. I feel like I've spammed everyone's inbox about when can I watch this film. So as of right now, we are doing a screening in summer. It is on 16th of July, which is a Thursday, day before Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, perfectly timed. It is at the Art House Crouch End, which is in North London. So it's going to be in an actual cinema, independent cinema. We held our London premiere at that cinema. They've been really good to us in the past. And yeah, like that also will also be attached to with an audience Q&A. So once the film is over, we're going to open it up. We're not going to do a Q&A panel.
Yeah.
The cast and crew will be actually on the stage, and audiences will be able to effectively, for 20 minutes, ask us whatever questions they want.
Brilliant. Okay, from all your projects, what's challenged you the most?
Oh, Duck 100% was the biggest challenge, you know.
Really?
Yeah, because, well, mentally and physically as well, you know. I worked on the film it consumed basically all of my 2025, you know, because I started pre-production of it in February 2025, and then I finished the entire film in December 2025, like including the edit.
Wow.
And for me, it was just I wanted to make the story right and not a mockery. You know, I wanted it to be perfectly shot.
Because it was a serious topic, isn't
It was a
it?
serious topic, exactly. So I didn't want to take the mick. Even in terms of technically, I wanted it to be technically perfect as well. And for me, it was like that was my second film. It was supposed to be a short independent film, but the scale that we shot it ended up being the scale of like a big feature film. You know, we had about like 20 people on set. You know, like we had so many crew members, so much cast. We went from 3 actors in one film to then 6 actors on another film, and 6 completely individual characters as well, where each of them had different personalities. They had different amounts of screen time, and I just had to make sure that the rehearsals were right, make sure the performances were great, and also getting stuff like I stupidly decided to shot list the film as well, because usually the DOP would do that, but I did it in this one. And so because I was like, it's such a personal film, I want to really be meticulous with the shots and like all the different camera angles in the film. And my God, that took ages as well. And just filming it as well, we did 4 days of filming, and it was intense. It was intense, not just on a physical aspect, but also a mental aspect, because you're surrounded by those themes all day. It can play into your head as well.
It could be draining, can't it?
Yeah, we were getting emotional filming it, because it was bringing up a lot of past memories for a lot of us. But not only that, it was like there's like the things that are like said in that scene that while you're filming it, and you're just like, oh man, it's quite deep, So we tried our best as well. We have to be cautious to also, in between takes, make the set as lighthearted as possible as well.
And you got little comedy sketches in there.
Exactly, we needed to, just because it was one of those ones where it was like, if you don't do that, then we're just gonna be depressed all day, But for me, yeah, I think it was just a lot of prep went into this one. We had so many scenes. We had actors also all over the UK as well. It wasn't like everyone was based in London, so I had to keep like traveling all over the place.
Where did you actually do the main part of filming?
Main part of filming was actually in Coventry, so we filmed it in Coventry. The location is actually my mom's house in Coventry.
Okay, so it wasn't Southall or nothing like that, no?
No, it wasn't Southall. Honestly, I'm kind of glad we did it in Coventry, just because it's a little bit quieter there. But like we shot in Southall, we just have so many people outside the house, just like wondering, oh, what's being shot here?
I want a part.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. So I'm glad that we shot it in Coventry, just because it's a bit more space there, and also the house was quite big as well. So we had areas where we could, film quite freely, because people don't realize when it comes to filming, you can't just film in like a really tight area. You need spaces for lights, camera. And also what you don't see is the amount of people that are behind the camera as well. You have so many people behind the camera that, sometimes spaces on set can become really congested,
Okay, so going on to my next question. Obviously, being a British Punjabi born influencer now, or movie maker, a lot of things have influenced you, haven't they? Like you said, like Duke, hearing people's stories and everything.
Yeah.
So that's mainly influenced you a lot, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I feel like being British Punjabi, I feel like we have so many stories to tell as a community, and whether that be positive stories, but also stories that don't want to be told as well within the community. I feel like there's still so many topics within the community that
definitely
that we need to address, and definitely so many social issues. But not only just that, I don't want to just focus on the negatives. I think we also have so many positives within our culture, within our community, that I think still to this day needs to be shown on the realm of film as well. I feel like there's not enough representation when it comes to
100%. That was my next question, actually.
Yeah.
Do you think there's enough South Asian people repping at the moment?
Absolutely not. I don't think so. I know it's become better than before, 100%. Especially like recently, you've got Rizal Ahmed's new show, Bait. With Rizal Ahmed and Guz Khan. So respect to them. But I feel like with me, and I'm not trying to say this in a bad way. I'm just trying to say this in a way that, I want to see more people. We always just see the same faces over and over again.
Like Mr. Singh walking outside the Vic pub in EastEnders.
Well, exactly, yeah. And but also in the realm of film as well. It's like I love Dev Patel and everything, right? I think he's a great actor. But it's like, why does Hollywood, every time they want to cast an Indian actor, they just always cast Dev Patel as an Indian actor? That's what I always find. And by that, I mean as a main Indian actor, And don't get me wrong, he's a great actor and he's made some phenomenal films. But there are more of us. And I feel like, especially in the realms of actors, I think there needs to be more South Asian representation on the big screen. There is enough. There's a good amount on TV, and even behind the scenes, I feel like there's a good amount. I feel like Gurinder Chadha has made such a big impact within the film industry, But I feel like with her films are amazing, but you know, it's only her making these films, you know, that are like mainstream and popular. We need to see more South Asian filmmakers and also South Asian actors be shined on the main light. You know, the Oscars this year,
Yeah.
we had so much celebration of different cultures, but there was no South Asian representation this year at the Oscars. You know, it just was really lacking in terms of representation. The only representation we had was, you know, Kumail Nanjiani presenting Best Short and Priyanka Chopra presenting an award, but
Okay.
that's it. You know,
What's the
the
biggest
actual film, yeah.
what's the biggest misconception people have about filmmaking?
Oh man, biggest misconception. I think it's that going to film school is mandatory. I think kids and young people put too much pressure on themselves that they need to go into film school. And not, I don't mean university, I mean film school, which is like a really prestigious thing for a lot of filmmakers to do. Because in
Hmm.
fairness, you go to film school, you get a lot of networking, you get a lot of connections, and that is good for that. But in terms of actually learning how to make films, you don't necessarily need to go to film school. You don't need to go to university. A lot of the biggest and most famous directors in the industry didn't go to university, didn't go to film school. They just made connections and they went to networking events. You know, main thing is like, you know, for me, it's like if you just know how to network and if you just know how to tell good stories, you'll be fine. I mean, going to film school, it may give you a good jump start. You'll make connections straight away. But sometimes, and I found it a lot, it can demotivate you quite a lot. I know a lot of people that have gone to film schools and have gone into university that haven't even made that after going to university, they've just changed careers completely. You know, they've just decided to go into and feel like business or
Yeah.
finance because they've just been put off by, you know, I mean, we have critics and stuff like that, but sometimes the way that you give criticism, especially within these schools, it's way too harsh than it needs to be. And
100%.
it really demotivates you as a filmmaker. I got, you know, told by lecturers that, you know, your ideas are effectively crap. No one wants to, you know,
Wow.
like, yeah, no, straight up to my face. And, you know, your opinions of films are not great and stuff like that. And for me, it was demotivating at the time. But then you just have to kind of treat it sometimes as noise
Yeah.
and just effectively just keep doing you, you know, like there will be someone out there and a market out there that will like the film type of films you've got to do. And the thing is, with when you make films, the best thing to do is literally just go and make a film. It may not do great, but you're gonna learn. And every film that you make, you will learn for the next one, you know. So yeah, my thing is, yeah, you know, like don't feel too pressured. Because again, a lot of these schools and film schools, it's a lot of money. And not everyone can afford these type of, you know, privileges. So it's that thing of like you don't need to be of a certain privilege to make
Yeah.
films. Anyone can make a film.
Okay. How tough is it to break into the film industry?
I think it's better these days than before. I feel like social media has helped a lot, especially Instagram. I feel like these days you can get quite a lot of jobs on Instagram just as like a runner, but I think it's
Mhm.
still very tough. You know, it's one of the most brutal, cutthroat industries there is out there. You know, you could be grafting for years, you know, get to about, you know, 40, 50, maybe even 60, and you may have only just made your first feature film. You know,
Wow.
it just depends on like really it's a game of determination. You know, how determined are you to reach that level? But I think also, sadly, it is still an industry of it's not what you know, it's not the skills that you know, it's who you know. You know, so if you just know the right people, you can make it quite far in the industry. But it is really, I find at least, knowing the right people and knowing people that can help you rise to the top. But in terms of breaking into the industry, it really just depends on like the type of level that you are. But it is really extremely tough because think about how many films get made on the daily. Think
True.
about how many shorts get made on the daily. You know, sadly, not everyone is going to make it into the mainstream industry. You'll be lucky to even have your short featured on Netflix. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of those ones where it's like it is, yeah, it's really difficult.
Okay, that falls nicely into my next question. What advice would you give somebody who wants to get to film but with no connections?
So there are a lot of free networking events around London, and not even just London, across the UK. Go to these networking events and meet people. You know, talk to people. It is difficult if you are a bit of a shy speaker, but I promise you, people like we go to these events just because that's what everyone's in the same boat. We're here to actually just network, know each other, and get contacts with each other as well. You know, put your name out there. On, you know, whatever socials that you can follow, you know, Instagram pages like UK Film Work. They're always reposting filmmakers' posts. They're constantly, people are always looking for runners. That is one of the best positions to actually get into filmmaking. It's not the most glamorous job, but if you're looking to get some onset experience, start off as a runner. And when you're there as a runner, make as many connections as you can. Don't just be quiet, don't be reserved. Open up, talk to people. Obviously, not while they're working, but in the breaks and stuff like that. Go and talk to people. Chances that like not everyone's going to be mean. Just like go and have conversations with people and get their numbers. Connect with them and really, just look out for opportunities that could also help you see yourself in a good light. Even if it's as simple as the DOP forgets their phone charger, you give him a phone charger, and he'll remember you because he'll be like, "Oh, I remember that guy giving me a phone charger."
You
Maybe
brought
I'll
a phone charger, yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay, do you have your pool of actors, or do you do casting for each one?
I do casting for every single one, so I rarely will. I mean, all my films that I've done, it's all been completely different actors, because that's what I'm just trying to do. It's not trying to say that I don't have one of the actors again, because I do. It's more so that every single film that I'm doing, I want it to be so different than the last one, and that comes down to even the cast as well. Because if we're seeing the same actor in all three films, I just feel like it just becomes merged into one, and too connected. Whereas I want to create as much disconnect with each individual film. So yeah, I will always do casting and auditions for every single film.
So that's just to look out on your on your social media pages, your Instas and your TikToks to see what's going on.
Yeah, so TikTok, everyone keeps telling me to join it. I don't think I'm ever going to join TikTok, but Instagram is my main social media platform. So look out on my Instagram I'm always posting about crew calls, casting calls, and not even just for myself, but also for filmmakers that I work with. I always will reshare their post if they, if I'm able to, because sometimes I'll just completely miss it because I'm not that big on social media, to be honest with you. So I try to use social media more just as someone would use something like LinkedIn. It's more like a job post for me.
Business thing, yeah.
Business thing, yeah. It's more just for business.
Okay. A bit about yourself.
Yeah.
Where am I? What's been your biggest setback and how did you overcome it?
I think biggest setback for me was 100% the COVID pandemic. I think that's a bit of a boring answer because I think that's everyone's biggest setback. But for me, I just think that it really demotivated me in terms of making films, because then I was like, oh God, I got to start from all the way from the start. Because before COVID, I was on the way to making my first short film. Things were going smoothly. Then COVID hit. No more filmmaking.
Everyone's at home.
Well, exactly. Everyone's at home. To be honest, I didn't mind the fact that I was just at home and just, take some time off and just basically just resetting and everything like that. It wasn't that, but it was just more that I just felt absolutely useless. And for me, I just didn't want to do that effort of having to remake those connections. I didn't know what the industry was going to look like after COVID because there was barely any funding towards the arts anyway. So, and people, when I speak to people, they were just like going into doing full-time jobs and stuff like that. So that's what I did. I effectively just stopped filmmaking. I went into working in full-time education. And for a good couple of years, I just stopped making films. I just thought, I'm not going to make films anymore. I got into photography a lot just to keep that creative side alive.
Yeah.
But for me, I just stopped caring about films. I didn't want to make films anymore. And I think that was the biggest setback. But then once I found that passion again, I think it took me a long time to find that passion again. But then once I did, I was like, right, this is what I was meant to do. This is a sign. It's no looking back now,
Just pick up again. Okay. Exactly. How do you stay creative and motivated?
On
a daily basis.
On a daily basis, I will listen to, music is my biggest motivation, I'll be honest with you. If I don't have music playing most of the time, then sometimes like I just feel like I'm a bit like empty and a bit lonely and I just can't think of anything. Whereas the music actually really helps me create that
definitely
creative aspect to it. So I listen to basically almost any genre, from like Bangla to hip hop to even heavy metal, so I'll listen to a wide range of genres. But then even my other motivation, I'll still watch films. I'll watch films that aren't that well known, aren't that mainstream box office, more independent films from underrated filmmakers, just to get more inspiration as well. And yeah, I feel like watching films, especially in this day and age, there's some great independent films that have come out recently that have really motivated me to do better and be more creative and be more unique as well.
Excellent. Okay, what's your dream collaboration?
Oh, dream collaboration is really difficult, but I mean, I've got like a dream project and dream collaboration, which I don't want to say, so I'm gonna put that aside. But there's one
Okay.
dream collaboration that I really, really want to do, which I don't mind saying it out there. And I would love to collaborate with Rockstar Games and make a live action Red Dead Redemption film or series, because that's my favorite video game series. And I love
Excellent.
westerns. I love westerns so much. It's one of my favorite genres. And I love the Red Dead Redemption video game series. One of my favorite games, one of my favorite stories. I think it deserves a live action adaptation. And I truly feel like I can bring that to reality and make it right and bring justice to it.
Fantastic. Okay, what does success look like to you personally?
Success to me is simply just creating whatever films I want to make and films I enjoy making, but full time, and effectively doing this as a proper job.
Okay, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, you know, I would see myself again just like making films full time, actually being paid to make films. Yeah, that's my next 5 year plan. You know, just try to make my name a bit bigger, really.
And what legacy do you want to leave behind in the film industry?
That's such a such a tough answer. I feel like that's so pressure. I mean, I think if I had to say one thing, is just to make South Asians mainstream in the industry. If I can be part of that, and if people in the next like 10, 20 years say, you know, oh, that director, you know, left a massive impact for me, I was inspired by him, then that would mean a
100%.
lot to me, you know. Yeah.
Okay, just a few quick fire questions. Favorite film of all time?
Lord of the Rings: Return of the King.
Which one is that? Is that the really first one you said?
The final one, the last one.
Okay. Netflix or cinema?
Cinema.
One director you'd love to work with?
Christopher Nolan.
What's Christopher Nolan done?
Inception, Interstellar, The Dark Knight.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, you done that. Morning or night creator?
Oh, night. I'm up until like sometimes 2 a.m., 3 a.m. just because of my work schedule.
Wow.
Yeah, really bad.
And one word to describe your journey so far.
Roller coaster.
Okay, to wrap things up, obviously I like to have different conversations, raise awareness on different issues, or talk about different journeys of people. Have you got a nomination for me?
Yeah, so there's one producer that I've been speaking to quite a lot recently, and he's been really supportive of my career so far. It's a producer called Arun Kapoor. He's part of New Line Films. Generally, the guys in New Line's films make really incredible films, stuff that on the independent level, I'm just in awe in what they make. And they make a lot of films based on South Asian culture, whether that be drama and also comedy. They've got a recent film coming out, which is actually a zombie film, but based on like basically a zombie film, but with a South Asian cast, which I'm really excited
Do
to
they
watch.
do music videos as well?
They do music videos. Yes, they do.
I'm sure
yeah.
they done a video a little while ago with Apache Indian
Yes, they did. Yeah. That's exactly them. Yeah.
and 94 Dreams.
Yeah.
Okay,
I believe
definitely.
that's them. But yeah, I would definitely recommend having Arun Kapoor and chatting to him.
100%. I'd love to talk to him.
Some of the
Fantastic.
conversations we've had is amazing.
Ajay, thank you very much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so
and
much,
I hope
man.
I'll make some shorts from this interview.
Perfect.
And you keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much for having me
Thank
on
you.
the show.
Big love. Take care. Just stay there for 1 second. I'm just going to